Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku charts.com daily analysis for the Euro US dollar FX for Thursday, March 7th, 2013. Well, a change of trend today, and the candle that we're analysing is this second last candle here. The final candle there is currently forming, but this last candle has a higher high and a higher low and a very large white body candle, so we've seen a change of trend back to the upside. And the white body denotes the buyers making very substantial net bullish progress on the day between the open and the close, and it's been quite some time since we've seen a white body candle of this character, and it does suggest that the buyers are starting to find some momentum. Only problem for the buyers here is that they're interacting with two very strong areas of resistance, and that's the Tenkan-sen, and the market tested exactly to the Tenkan-sen, and that area coincided pretty much with the bottom of the cloud, and we've seen some selling come in, small shadow on the top, not substantial, but some selling, and that means that there is a possibility of these areas holding as resistance for this market. But having said that, the buyers are firmly in control of this market for the trading day as it closed today, with the buyers closing up towards the high, and they've shown very strong commitment, so there is a good possibility of this market trading higher. Now, as this market's trading at the moment, it is trading up above the Tenkan-sen, so there is a possibility of this market now moving into a bullish phase in the short-term time frame, and perhaps trading up to the cloud, which now with this current candle would be around the 130-160 level, so a possibility of the uptrend continuing and testing up to that level. Now we do have 130-145 resistance just below that cloud as well, and that will be very strong resistance for this market as well, so we do need to watch that area if this uptrend does continue in the first time frame. If we see sellers come back into this market, then obviously at the moment 130.79 is important support, but strong support at 130.25, and then recently established strong support at the 129.68 level. We're being tested here on four of the last 5 trading days have tested to that area, and we have seen buying coming in, so a very, very solid area of support down just below where the market's trading. Now moving to the Fibonacci extension, and we're examining the relationship of the new first time frame uptrend to the previous time the market was trending up. And here on this bullish candle today, we've seen the market trade through the 100% level in a strongly bullish manner, and it does suggest that this market is destined for higher levels. No weakness in that current candle as we saw it trading today, so the next level that we should be looking to is the 161.8% level around the 130-139 level, 130-140 level, and that's just below the area where the market may find resistance at the cloud, so a very strong area of resistance coming up for this market. And looking at the Fibonacci retracement of the prior downtrend in the first time frame, and here we've seen the market move through the 100% for an expansive phase of that, and the next level we're looking at here is 130-142, and that is pretty much in the same area with the other Fibonacci technique, so telling us that we have very, very solid resistance just above where the market's trading. So if we see the market test up to that level or just above to the bottom of the cloud, then there's a very strong possibility of this market testing down to lower levels if we do see some weakness coming into this market. Now moving to our patterns, and here we still have this small flag pattern in play, even though the market is retracing back up towards these levels. If we do see the market come off then and trade down through the 129.68 level of support, and then through the 128.57 level, we have the target down here around the 126.54 level. So that'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Now there's a possibility here also, let's just be aware of a potential head and shoulders pattern. Here we have a second time frame downtrend in place. Here we have a small possible shoulder ahead, and if we have another peak, a trough formed here, it could form a right shoulder, so there is a possibility of a head and shoulders pattern, so we do need to be aware of that. But drawing a line through these levels here, it will be a very strongly upsloping neckline, so we do need to be aware of that. The only problem here with any potential head and shoulders pattern, and let's not preempt the market, it hasn't formed yet. Any problem here is that the potential target will probably be involved with the cloud here, so there is a possibility of a target not being met and finding resistance. But just going back to this potential target for the flag pattern, it's interesting that we haven't seen the market test down at lower, and it does say something about the strength of the support around this 129.68 level, that it is fairly strong support. And looking at the strength of this current candle, it does suggest that there could be a possibility of a change of sentiment in this market, so we do need to be aware of that. But any change of sentiment that we will see in a big picture term will obviously meet resistance through the cloud, and we have a very substantial area of the cloud as this market moves forward. It will be moving higher, but it is a very large section of cloud that the market has potential to interact with. Now, in terms of Ichimoku, as at the close of this current candle that's just finished trading, we do still have a bearish market in the long-term time frame by trading down below the cloud. We still have a bearish market in the medium-term time frame by trading below the Kijun-sen, the pink line, and still technically bearish in the short-term time frame by trading below the Tenkan-sen, the green line here, but only just trading below there, so rather neutral in the short-term time frame. Looking at the Kijun-sen, that is pointing flat, so there is a possibility of price action being attracted back towards that flat Kijun-sen. That represents equilibrium in that medium-term time frame, so let's be aware of that. So there is a real possibility of this market testing up to the cloud, or even higher, so to the top of the cloud there, so let's be aware of that. But what we're looking for here is weakness coming in to this market as it trades higher, if it does, and that could signal a change of trend back to the downside in the market, testing back down to lower levels.